Hello everyone. In this video we're going to discuss about what is inheritance and we'll slowly get into what are the different types of inheritance. So let's get started. So let's understand what the definition of inheritance is. Inheritance in Java is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent object. So okay, let's understand it this way. Here in this picture you could see a grandfather, a father and a child. Father acquires some traits from a grandfather and the child acquires some traits from his father. Traits in the sense it could be looks or intelligence or whatever. So the same way, the subclass or the child class would acquire some methods and not some methods, all the methods and all the variables from parent class through inheritance. So why do we need inheritance? So the first reason is code reusability. So whatever methods and variables you created in the parent class, those variables could be accessed using the subclass or the child class. Like you need not create those variables again. So that would be really efficient. And the other thing is method overriding. Method overriding I did not discuss in my videos. So simply if I have to say, it is like the subclass and the parent class having the same method. So in simple terms, that is what method overloading is. In our further videos, I'll explain about this in detail. So this is why we need inheritance. Now, if we look at the types of inheritance, there are actually 5 types of inheritance. So single, multi-level, hierarchical, and multiple, hybrid. These are all the types of inheritance. In this video, we'll be looking at single, multi-level and hierarchical. Now, if you look at this multiple and hybrid, Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. So you might be wondering why, what's wrong with multiple inheritance? So what the reason is, Java always wants to simplify the code. So they want the language to be simple. They don't want it to be they don't want it to be so complex. So they don't support this multiple inheritance. See, it is like, if you could see here, there are 3 classes, A, B and C. So just assume this method. If these both classes, if you could see this particular thing, C inherits A and B. So if you just think it this way, A and B have the same method. Now, if I have to call that method from this particular child class, then what would happen? Then ambiguity would take place. What is ambiguity? What is that? So it is like a state of confusion. See, now it doesn't understand whether to call this particular method or this particular method. Now you called it from this child class, but there would be a confusion from which method to call, because both the methods are same. So that would lead to compile time error. So that is why multiple inheritance is not accepted in Java. So let's look at single inheritance, multi-level inheritance and hierarchical inheritance on our IntelliJ IDE. First of all, let's look at what single inheritance is. Okay, so first of all, I'll create one class. So first, this is a parent class. Let's say vehicle. Inside this, a string called as brand. The brand of the car. Let's say it is Ford. Now let me create a method. Let's say, as always, I'll create a start method which would print out 3, 2, 1, go. So this is what it is going to print out. Okay, so the parent class is created. Let me create another class called as car. Now what I want to do here is, I want to inherit this particular class, this parent class. I want to inherit this particular parent class. So for that, what I would do is I would use the keyword called extends. So basically what extends is indicating that it is making a new class from this particular existing class. It is creating a new class, like it is inheriting all these things. This particular variable and this particular method is inheriting everything. So extends vehicle. Now string model is Mustang, and okay, yes, okay, till here it is fine. Now we'll come to the main method. We'll create an object for this particular class called car. Okay, cars equals new car. So we've created an object. Now let's access those method and variables. Now carefully observe here. I'm going to access this particular variable and this particular method using this class. Just see. What would I do? I'll say cars.start. As you could see here, it is showing no error. It is accessing. And I'll print out, let's say, cars.brand plus, let's give some gap, plus, let's say, cars.model. So if we run this particular program, you could see here it is showing 3, 2, 1 go and Ford Mustang. I mean, everything got printed. So what we have done here, we have created an object of the child class. I mean, this is the child class or the subclass, child class / subclass, and you can call this parent class as superclass. So what we've done here is we've created an object of the child class, and we could access whatever is there in this particular parent class. So this start method is present in the parent class, and this brand is also present in the parent class. So we could access all these things. So in simple words, what single inheritance means is when a class inherits another class, it is called a single inheritance. So this particular class has inherited this class. So it is like father and son. You could understand it that way. So that is what single inheritance means. So let's look at what multiple inheritance means. So let's clear everything first. Okay, clearing everything. This one and this one too. Okay. Now let's freshly create some classes. So the first class I would like to create is Coltrane. Class Coltrane. Now this has a message. I'm creating a method here which says I run with coal. So since coal trains run with coal, it is saying that message. I mean, the train is speaking that message. Now, as the days and years, decades have passed on, we have moved from coal train to diesel train. So, diesel train. Now, let's print another message. Message 2. It says, I run with diesel. Fine. One thing we forgot. Extends coal train. Yes. Now fine. This diesel train has inherited this one. Okay. Now let's create another class called electric train. Since the technology has advanced more, we've got into the era of electric trains. So this extends diesel train. Okay. Wait. This is a method. Okay. So this has message 3, which says I run with electricity and I am the best. So this particular train is having a little bit pride. So it is saying I'm the best and I run with electricity. Okay, so we've created 3 methods here. Fine. Let me zoom this in. Okay. So what I do now, I'll create an object of electric train and I'll see whether I could access this message 1 and message 2 methods. Let's see. Electric train. Let's name the method as train equals new electric train. Fine. Now train dot. See, I'm getting the option to access all the messages. But still, let's print them and see for our satisfaction. Train dot message 2. Wait, I'll print this here. Yeah, now it's fine. Now I'll run them and let's see. See here, they're showing I run with coal, I run with diesel, I run with electricity, and I'm the best. So using this particular object, I could access all these methods. So by this, what we can understand is in the single inheritance, we only had a parent and a child. Here we are having a multiple chain of inheritance. It is like now electric train has inherited the diesel train has inherited this particular coal train. So there is a chain of inheritance. It is like grandfather and then father and then the child. So and so on. So it is of that form. So this is what multiple inheritance is. Let's understand what hierarchical inheritance means. So let's remove all this in this thing. Okay. Now let's create a class called vehicle. So inside this class, let's create a string called as brand. Let's consider the brand this time as Honda. So let's print some message. Void message. I'm creating a method. I am the parent class. Okay. Just created the parent class. Fine. Now let's create a class called car, which inherits from the parent class vehicle. Okay. So in this, let's create a string called as model. So in Honda, which is the best car? Okay. Honda NSX. This is a sports car in Honda segment. So, okay. Let's create another message. Let's say message 1 method. Since this is the fastest car in Honda, I don't know which is the fastest car right now. As per my knowledge, this is the fastest car. So let's say this is the fastest car. and okay, why don't we write it this way? I am the fastest car. So let's create another method called as bike. Now observe this carefully. Bike, this doesn't inherit from car. This is directly inheriting this particular vehicle. So it doesn't have any relation with car. So this particular bike is inheriting directly this particular vehicle class, which is the parent class. Here I'll create a string called as model. Best Honda bike. Let's say Honda Goldwing. Let's print out another message 2. Okay, this is a method, so we could put some brackets. Let's say I am an adventure tourer. Honda Goldwing is a adventure touring bike. It has all those speakers and all that system. It's a very huge bike. Okay. Fine. Now let's create a method. Let's create an object for car class. Car1 equals new car. Okay. Now car1 dot will access message first. Car1 dot message, car1 dot model, or let's say car1 dot message 1. Let's access message 1. Okay. Now first we'll run this particular program. See, it has printed I am the parent class. So it has run whatever is present in the parent class, and it has run the method which is present inside that particular class itself. Now I'll create an object for bike. Bike1 equals new bike. Now let's say bike1 dot message and bike1 dot message 2. Let's print this too. See, here you could see I am the parent class, I am an adventure tourer. So this bike also accessed what is there in the parent class. See, this is the parent class here. So this particular object has accessed what the method present in the parent class, and it has accessed the method which is present in itself, in the bike class also. And here you could see the car also accessed whatever is present in the parent class, and it accessed whatever is present inside its own method. Inside its own class, whatever is present it has accessed. So what we can understand here, so when two or more classes inherit a particular parent class or the super class or that particular one class, so when two classes or more classes they inherit a single class, it is called as hierarchical inheritance. So just understand the difference between multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. Multiple inheritance is like a chain. It is like father inheriting it from grandfather and the child inheriting from father. But in hierarchical inheritance, it is not like that. You could see this particular bike class has inherited from vehicle class, and this car also inherited from vehicle. So there is no relation between bike and car. It is like father inheriting some property from grandfather, and the child is also going and inheriting from grandfather itself. So there is no relation between father and child. I mean, I'm telling this for understanding purpose. Just don't take this literally. So that is what the major difference between hierarchical and multiple inheritance is. And single inheritance is very simple. It is like a child inheriting some property from a father. It is like that. So in single inheritance is not so complex. I mean, these both are also not complex, but yeah, single inheritance is very simple.
I hope you clearly understood about what is inheritance and what are the different types of inheritance clearly. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. We'll meet in the next one.